Good day. I'm Chris Thompson, and this is Questions, and this is Duff Crear again. And today we are going to be talking about rights, and specifically Christian rights, and are they in conflict with each other, like Christianity and rights and things like that, and how does freedom play out in that, and all these things that we've kind of seen in our world over the last 2 years, really, in a big way. We're just going to try to bite off a small piece of what that looks like in this talk.
Yeah, and we have to make a distinction, I think, because our whole bracketing concept is the kingdom of God.
Yeah.
And there's no necessity that the rights in the kingdom of God, or whatever they are, have to correspond exactly with the rights we have in history, political theory, although they're certainly important. And most of our discourse in public in Canada is around those three sites: the political, the legal, and the social contracts. But we also have the question of, in the kingdom of God, are the rules a bit different? Or how do they complement or contradict each other? So if you go back and look at some of the talk we have right now among some Christian circles, there's this idea that Christian rights are entitlements, that they have a God-given entitlement to some of the following things. Now, for instance, you have a right to have a healthy body and mind in the kingdom of God. Christ guarantees that. Christ assures that. Well, the problem with that is, if anything in the world is interfering with that, then it's going against the will of God.
Right.
Oh, boy. Then we have a right to prosper, at least enough to share with others. So when you have someone who's struggling financially, especially going through the last few years, as a Christian, are they somehow out of line with the will of God? Has God do you have the right to be prosperous? Another one is the right to children. And yet we know that there are many couples who are having trouble with infertility and desperately are praying for relief from that condition or that situation. And so in the end, this list of rights, let's take another one: the right to healthy relationships. Okay, you have a right to that, but it's not as if it's going to be handed to you on a platter.
Right.
There's going to be a lot of growing and changing and repenting, perhaps, to do. This is the challenge. If these rights are being given as a gift from God or as an entitlement, that's the danger word here. Well, who do you sue when they're not happening for you?
Right.
You take them back to God? God, you're not carrying out your side of the deal? That's why often the word covenant comes in. But there's been some kind of guarantee where God, by his own character, has promised these things. And when Christians talk that way, they're often, I think, drifting into wish fulfillment in God's name. And the problem with that is that, once again, when you start thinking entitlements, that's self-centered entitlements, right? Would you go that far for someone else's entitlements, especially if they contradict yours?
Right.